one of the most frequently asked questions, and I think frustrations for just about everybody in the world of digital marketing is how long is it going to take to see results? Now, I'm going to cover that question today. So, how long will it take to see results? I'm also going to smash three myths about digital marketing because although there's many, many more than three, I've got three that I think I need to smash today to really help you and get results from your digital marketing. Alrighty, so let's answer this question. So, how long should it take to get results? Now, first of all, I'm going to start with a story because my journey in digital marketing started many, many years ago where I was trying to understand how to generate leads online. As you probably can see by looking at me, I'm of an older vintage, just turned 49. And when I first started my other business, my business coaching and training business, I built it off the back of seminars. And so to fill up a seminar, what I would do is I would put a full page newspaper ad in the paper. And typically I wouldn't pay for it. I'd go to the newspaper and I'd say, I'm going to run a seminar on how to write ads that sell. And it's going to help your customers be more comfortable with continuing to advertise with you because newspapers had this problem where the people that didn't know how to write ads would put ads in that didn't work, and then those people, would stop advertising because they felt like the paper didn't work. But really, what it was, the ads sucked. So that's how I used to fill up seminars, and we would take phone calls, and we would get maybe 100 bookings via phone calls, so, and people would ring up and get their tickets, and 130, 140 people would turn up to a seminar. And then as the years went on, we would get 100 bookings, and then 80 would turn up. We'd get 100 bookings, and then 20 would turn up. And I even had one instance where we had like nearly 100 bookings, and only 7 people turned up. And I guess what happened was that more and more people were turning to online, and more and more people wanted to do things online. And our marketing was online at that stage when we were getting that many bookings and no one was turning up. But we had to really learn how to use digital marketing then to get really good at marketing our business because we knew that we needed something besides seminars. People weren't coming to seminars anymore. And so we had to change the way that we marketed our business. So I then went and engaged a couple of different agencies over a 2-year period. The first one I spent a swack load of money with. The second one I spent a swack load of money with. In total, about 90 grand in total. And I just did not see a good return on investment. Now, 2 reasons for that. One was I didn't feel that they probably they understood my business or understood how to market, and a lot of agencies suffer from that fate where they're great technically but they're not good marketers, so they're not good strategy. The second part of that is I think maybe I didn't have enough patience with some of the campaigns they were running, and I didn't understand how long it could take for some things to work. So let's dive deep in and understand, because since then what I have been able to do is predictably generate hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales, millions of dollars of sales, in fact, over the last 10 years using digital marketing. And I'm going to share with you the 2 different methodologies or the ways of thinking when it comes to digital marketing. The first way is hunting. And if you can think of it like this, if you had to eat and you lived on the land, you were nowhere, let's pretend it was back in the dark old ages where supermarkets didn't exist and you had to eat today to survive, you would go hunting. And I see some marketing on digital platforms like hunting. If you need to get leads today, you can get leads today or, within the next few days. If you grab your spear and you go out and you hunt. And there's particular types of methodologies for that. The second methodology then is farming. So if you didn't want to continually have to hunt every day, which you don't, that gets really tiring. You want to start up some sort of a strategy for farming. So down the track, your crops will grow and generate and feed you somewhere down the track. But that's a long-term strategy, right? So you've got to look at these 2 different strategies when it comes to digital marketing. One is hunting, feed me today, and the other one is farming. Feed me in the long term. And so let's talk about some of the different strategies and understand how quickly you can expect to get results from different things. So the first one I want to cover off is something like PPC, what's called pay-per-click advertising. Now, pay-per-click advertising is a really good way of hunting, of getting immediate results if you already have a strategy that is working super effectively. So, for example, let's say right now you have a methodology for generating a lead, booking them into a sales call, and converting that sale into a client, and that is already set. There's no reason why you can't reach more people on social media or through Google advertising that are actively looking for what it is you do. In particular, Google Ads is probably a good place to start. I always think that, if you're going to do any sort of paid advertising, look into Google Ads first because they're the people that are on Google looking for a solution to a problem. Facebook, for example, if you're going to do pay-per-click advertising on Facebook, those people aren't typically looking to solve a problem. They might be, but not in the same way. They don't have the same intent as a searcher on Google, right? So pay-per-click advertising should give you very, very quick results, so long as you've got your back end sort of sorted. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people making with something like Google Ads is they'll have an ad show up for a very generic keyword. They'll then have the click-through going through to their homepage on their website, and the homepage on their website is not optimized to convert. So, make sure before you go running those events, if you do want to see instant results from PPC or pay-per-click advertising, you need a landing page that has been built to convert those leads into whatever the next step is, whether it's a call with you, whether it's buying a product, a free trial, etc., etc. So it can be very, very instant in that particular situation. Email marketing is another great example if you have a database of how you can get an instant result. I was talking to a client the other day, a brand new client, and he just did this campaign where he emailed his database. Hasn't emailed them for ages. I don't know whether it was my chat with him as he came aboard as a new client that sort of instigated his excitement about email marketing. But he did an email marketing campaign over the weekend leading up to Valentine's Day. He made a special offer in that email, and he got a stack of sales. I mean, a stack of sales, more than he ever expected in the following few days. So by emailing your database, you can expect instant results. Okay, but once again, you need to have a database to do that. So these things are all the things that can happen pretty instantly. Pay-per-click advertising, email database. Now, if you don't have a database, you can make an offer to a joint venture database. And I've done this quite a lot as well for instant results. So for example, you could have somebody who shares a very similar target market to you that already has a database. And if you have a really good lead magnet or a really good offer, you can send it out to their database and it'll give you the same results. So very, very easy way to get quick results. So that's sort of your hunting methodology, if you like. Things like that, things like outreach, like you could search hashtags on Instagram and send direct messages to people with an offer. And quite often, if you do enough of those in a short period of like a daily period in a short period of time every day, maybe you just dedicate, I don't know, 20 minutes a day to that. You could find that out of 20 minutes, you might be able to do 10 direct messages or 20 direct messages. You might get a couple come back to you pretty instantly and book an appointment or, take up a lead magnet or some sort of offer pretty instantly. So they're the things that can happen really fast. I think the things that those farming activities, and they're probably the most, I guess, valuable activities is your farming, because if you can build a farm that continues to feed you leads somewhere down the track forever, then that is obviously a better thing to do. The problem with most of us in business is we need that immediate cash flow. So we need to do hunting right now because we do need to eat right now. We need to pay our bills. We need to feed our families, right? So we need the immediate things right now. But if you can also work on the farming strategies at the same time and be very patient with that, then that is going to pay dividends down the track. Now, the things that are farming are things like SEO. Now, one of the myths that I'm going to break today is that SEO is dead. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And essentially, just to break down the jargon, it means making it so your website ranks better in search engines. And when someone does an organic search, so they go to Google or one of the search engines, they type something in, that your website pops up. Okay, that's what SEO is all about. And once again, you need your website to be optimized to convert. But if it is, then SEO can really help bring people to your website for free. Now, I say that for free because it's not really for free. You're going to spend a lot of time, effort, and money to get your website on the first page of Google. And it's going to take 6 to 12 months to really capitalize on a good SEO strategy. You're not going to expect to get leads tomorrow from doing SEO. Having said that, I have published a blog post or an article on my website, and within a few weeks, seen thousands of visitors to my website from that one particular article. So it probably depends on how viral or topical your article is and whether or not there's a lot of competition. So there's a lot of variable factors when it comes to SEO as to how quickly your page will rank or your website will rank. But SEO is not dead. That is a myth. SEO is still alive and well. In fact, SEO is more important than ever. And if you're not doing SEO as one of your farming strategies, then your competitors are probably doing it. And it's like a marathon. If they're starting before you and they've already run 10 miles of the 42 miles, then the reality is that they're going to be 10 miles ahead, and it's very hard for you to catch up when it comes to SEO because you can't run 10 miles in one day. Google doesn't like it, or the search engine doesn't like it, right? So SEO is not dead, really important. This brings me to the second thing, because it's a big part of SEO, and that is content marketing, which is also another myth. is that content marketing is not that important. I think in 2022, content marketing is like super important. And this is content marketing, by the way. Um, Writing blog posts is like so important. Having a podcast or a YouTube channel or creating social media posts, having good quality content for your potential customers to consume and your customers to consume is so important in 2022. Now, it's not going to give you an instant result. I'm not kidding myself. I do one of these Facebook Lives, for example, and yeah, I might get a lead or two from it. It might reinforce a relationship with a prospective customer that was thinking of buying from me, but it's unlikely that someone's going to just message me straight away now on Facebook and say, here's my credit card number, take my money. Very unlikely. So it's not a hunting strategy. But content marketing is a way to build up a relationship over a period of time. Remember, people buy from people, not from websites, not from landing pages, not from sequences or funnels or tripwires. People buy from people. So content is about building a relationship. It's about being super helpful and building trust, okay, and credibility and being the authority in your industry. So content marketing, that's myth number two. It's not. It's not that it's sorry. The myth is that it's not important. It is important, is what I want to say. So you should be doing content marketing. Content marketing should be a part of your strategy. The third myth, by the way, is that my customers aren't on social media. I've heard this so many times when I talk to people about social media marketing. But Ben, my customers aren't on Facebook. Well, let me tell you that there's 16 billion active users per month in Australia alone, and that the average person around the world clicks on a Facebook ad 12 times a month. So that's 12 different ads. So we know that people are on Facebook, for example. So if you're not using Facebook as a tool to market your business, and I probably don't need to preach to you because you're here on Facebook right now, but if you're not using it to market your business, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And whether it's paid advertising or it's starting a group or it could be just your Facebook page, or it could be being in community pages, whatever it is, your target market is there. So let's smash that myth number three. Okay, so that's the third myth smashed. Now, I'm going to give you a strategy that you can use right now that's a farming strategy, and a strategy that you can use right now that is a hunting strategy. And I've probably already given you two of those anyway. But I'm going to really just cap this video with just two things that you can go away, action items from this very point, and go and do. The first one is make sure that you have an email marketing database set up. Now, why is that super important? Because as you watch this today, for example, you may or may not be in my database. And if you're not in my database, I have no way of continuing the conversation unless you stay sort of engaged in a Facebook group, Facebook page, or follow me on a podcast or something. So an email marketing database is absolutely vital for your long-term farming strategy. And so as you drive traffic to your website, or as you do something, you want to be from time to time making some sort of an offer where people have to opt in with their email address, and you give them something valuable back. And that's a really great way to build your database, because as I gave you that example with that customer of ours, is that by doing an email blast out is sometimes the most effective way to get sales instantly. Now, that's sort of a farming strategy that you must have in your business. So make sure you have your email database set up. So some sort of email marketing software, and you're collecting emails. The second strategy that I'm going to give you is a hunting strategy, and it's an outreach strategy. And this one's going to scare a few people, but I want you to think about whatever platform you like using and start reaching out to people on there and starting a conversation. So if you like LinkedIn, LinkedIn's a really powerful tool. It's a very up-to-date database of people. If you're in the business-to-business space, it's a great tool for you. If you're in the business-to-consumer, we'll use Instagram. But what you want to do is you want to reach out to people. Now on LinkedIn, you can do a search, and you can filter that search by geographic region, by maybe a word in the company name, maybe the person's title. You can do all sorts of different searches. You can connect people, and then you can do what's called an outreach campaign. And this is hunting. It's a bit like the new age of cold calling, if you like. Now, I know a lot of you are probably sick to death of getting unsolicited messages through LinkedIn, just like I am. So you don't want to just go straight in and ask them to buy something from you or to meet with you. What I suggest you do is you start following them, start liking and commenting on their posts over the next week. If they're not posting, then you're going to have to just message them and say, would you like to connect? But it's a quick way for you to start to get a conversation and maybe get some results quicker than otherwise. The second hunting strategy then for B2C, which works really well, is to do something similar but on Instagram. So on Instagram, you can do a search for a particular hashtag. And I know this works really well. I know plenty of people that do this. Search for a particular hashtag that you know your target market will be putting on their posts, and then you can DM them and let them know that you've got something available. Shoot them to your website. And once again, it's all a manual process, but you could do 20 minutes a day, you will get results. It's just a matter of time. The other place that this is a really good strategy is in Facebook community groups. So if you're a local business, join a couple of local community groups and make sure you start the conversation in there and let people know what it is you have to offer, what problem you solve, and who is your ideal client. And you'll find pretty quickly that you'll start to get leads through doing that. All right, so there you go. So, how long would it take to get results? Really does depend. And I know that's probably not the answer you want. You can get quick results if you're doing hunting strategies. Your other strategies will take much longer. Expect most long-term strategies to start sort of giving you a reward in 6 to 12 months, hunting strategies within 1 to 4 weeks. That's probably the way to think about it. So you want to do some PPC advertising, you want to do some outreach campaigns, but you also want to be doing some SEO, content creation, have a podcast, YouTube, Facebook Lives, etc. And that way you've got a really good all-round digital marketing strategy, and you will get results quickly and long-term that you don't have to pay for. And just a reminder, those 3 myths, they're all, let's smash those. Content marketing is important. SEO is not dead, and your customers are on social media. Anyway, I've been Ben Futrell. Thanks for tuning in for this Facebook Live. Make sure you leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this content. Give it the thumbs up. Smash that like button if you've enjoyed the live, and share the group around with your friends if you think that they could benefit from some of this helpful content as well. All right, take care.